everything about the Christmas Carol story does suit being quite gothic and eerie, so I quite like that about it. I think the guy who plays Scrooge is fine. He's not one of the best, but he's certainly not one of the worst. We crack gags because, like, it was either last year or the year before on stream, we watched the Kelsey Grammer version of Scrooge.
Oh, yes.
Terrible.
I had that on DVD. It's a musical, isn't it?
I think so, and there's lots of really good people in it, but it's terrible. And I do like Kelsey Grammer, but he's just not the right person. I mean, it's terrible in general, it's not just because of him.
Okay. Does he? I don't think I watched it. I seem to remember buying it for the kids and they didn't want to watch it.
I was looking forward to it, partly because I like Kelsey Grammer. And I thought, when you see him in Frasier, I can see him making quite a good Scrooge, but for whatever reason, it just didn't really come off.
So who's the best Scrooge then? Ever?
I mean, it's close between a few. I mean, I love Bill Murray. I do love that version of... That's a great, like...
See, I think we're going to say Michael Caine. Everyone says Michael Caine, don't they?
He's good, and I do love, obviously, George C. Scott. I think he's right up there for Scrooge.
I don't think I've seen that version.
Yeah, I like that version quite a lot.
Is that from the 60s or 50s?
80s, I think.
Oh, really?
I think Alistair Sim, that's the one from the 50s, isn't it?
It could be 40s, I don't know.
Okay. I have a favourite Scrooge.
Why, isn't it Michael Caine?
Michael Caine,
it's the best version of Christmas Carol, isn't it? The Muppets Christmas Carol.
It is great. I mean, Ricky Gervais did say once, that is the best story ever, and the only way to improve it is with Muppets, and I think he was probably bang on with that.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's an amazing... they just got it so right. I mean, it is a true Christmas classic, isn't it? I mean...
It is, and it plays on TV every year, and pretty much everybody knows it, and it's amazing. So joyful.
And it, but in all seriousness, I mean, but Michael Caine genuinely does.
He commits to it. That's the thing.
And he plays it.
Yeah.
He plays it straight. I mean, he doesn't play it like. He's surrounded by Miss Piggy and Kermit and Gonzo, and he's playing it absolutely straight. And it's really good. I mean,
well, that's what I was going to say about this version from 35 is because I think part of the key to, like, Scrooge, that character, is then you have to believe both sides of him. Like, you have to believe when he's obviously being the grumpy, stick in the mug. But then you have to believe that he's suddenly got that life to him and that rejuvenation at the end. About this one, I think he's very well cast for most of the movie where he's playing like the bad guy Scrooge. He's not so convincing at the end. Right. He sort of just does a little jigsaw thing and makes some noises, but he's not very...
That's probably of its time, I suspect.
Maybe. But yeah, it's a decent one. It's not one of the best, it's not one of the worst. I'd probably put it in the middle somewhere. Stars the Fonz himself, Henry Winkler, in the Scrooge.
Oh,
terrible.
No, I want to watch that.
Well, maybe for the novelty, but... And I'll tell you what's funny about it, but also ironic because I'm watching it in 2023. They put old man makeup on him because, of course, in the 70s he was still Happy Days.
Well, he wasn't that young, was he? He was pushing.
I guess, but he was maybe a bit too young to play Scrooge.
Oh yeah, I mean obviously.
Whereas now he's old enough, but it's just funny that they put. And to be fair, the makeup effects are good in it. Like that's maybe one of the only things that is good because it's Rick Baker who did Nightmare on Elm Street and some really great.
Did he do Star Wars?
I think he's really good or was really good, and so the actual age in makeup I can't really fault. It is pretty good, but it's just surreal watching it in 2023.
Tell me Ron Howard is in it or directed it or
sadly
something.
Not. No.
Oh no. Did he direct it at least?
No. He's just really miscast. I mean, what I said about it was, it would almost be like Scott Bakula playing Scrooge. Bakula is one of these very likeable, charismatic, everyman type. That's the sort of character he normally plays. That's the character he plays in Quantum Leap. And I think it's similar with this. I think I just find it impossible to hate Henry Winkler. So I just can't see him as Scrooge. And
I wanted to say, so the ghost comes and goes, hey!
Yeah. Well, that would have made the film more lively.